And we're back with some more LA Kings franchise mode. And in this one, we are going to start year number 4. And as we take a look at our new and improved, vastly improved LA Kings, as we sign David Pastrnak over the offseason, as he fits our first line chemistry perfectly. And he goes along quite well with Phil Kessel and Alex Turcotte. Second line is Olofsson, Byfield, and Ehlers. Third line is Velarde, Kopitar, and Ho. And the fourth line is Kupari, Lawton, and Furland. So we are certainly looking like a very deep team this year. And on defense, you have Kuhlman with Doughty, Manson with Clark, and then Anderson with Spence, which means scratched are Brown, Hjalmarsson, and Clegg. I think we're going to trade Clegg. He doesn't have a better scheme fit than someone like Mikey Anderson or Hjalmarsson. Hjalmarsson is currently scratched because Anderson actually works better with Spence, and I didn't want to move either Clark or Kuhlman down to the bottom 6 pair, because the only way to get the +5 chemistry with Spence and Hjalmarsson is to have them both on the second pair, or I guess we could put them on the first pair, but we're not doing that. And in goal, of course, you have Shesterkin and Markkanen. Power play is looking like Kessel, Turcotte, Byfield, Pastrnak, and Spence. We get that +5 there, so that is looking deadly. And then you have Olofsson, Velarde, Ho, Doughty, and Ehlers. Penalty kill, you got a +5 here as well with Velarde, Ho, Manson, and Clark. And then Kopitar, Kupari, Doughty, and Kuhlman. The 4-on-4, Turcotte, Olofsson, Kuhlman, and Doughty. Byfield, Pastrnak, Clark, and Manson. Ho, Ehlers, Anderson, and Spence. 3-on-3, basically the same. Extra attackers are Olofsson and Pastrnak. Shootout is Pastrnak, Olofsson, Turcotte, Byfield, and Doughty. So we're just going to try to find a trade for Clegg here and see what we can get. The best offer I'm seeing is a 4th and a 5th from most teams, so I guess we'll just accept Washington's offer here. So, bit of a rough preseason. Hopefully that doesn't translate into the regular season. I think we're going to do a slow sim against Calgary. It's the first game of the season, and it is also the first game of guys like Brandt Clark and as well as Jacob Kuhlman. Now, I'm not going to wait around for them to score, because they're both defensemen. It may take a while for them to score. We don't know. Hopefully not, but it could take quite a while. So we're just going to see what happens in this first game, and then we'll quick sim the rest of the month. Here we go. First period against the Calgary Flames. First game of the season. First game of David Pastrnak in an LA Kings sweater. First period. And the man, the myth, the legend, Phil Kessel is already on a roll to start the season. 2 goals in the first period on Markstrom, Timashov with the power play goal on Shesterkin. Second period. And that'll be Ehlers and Furland with the goals. And then Backlund with the goal to get Calgary within 2. But looking good for us so far. Third period. There it is. Phil Kessel with the 4-goal game. Wow, this guy's amazing. 3 stars of the game. No doubt about it. Doughty, Turcotte, and Kessel with the 4-goal performance. Wow. So the fans treated to a hat trick in the first home game of the season. That's incredible. But now we are going to go and see what the rest of the month brings us. Oh, you hate to see it. David Pastrnak, in his inaugural month as an LA King, goes down with a mild concussion. Luckily, it's only about a week, so won't be gone too long, but it's unfortunate. Oh my goodness. Phil Kessel, he is a man on a mission. he won the Stanley Cup last year. He wants another one. This man does not stop. Wow. Turcotte with 19 points. Pastrnak with 14 points so far in 11 games. He's doing very well. Byfield with 14 points. Doughty with 12. This team is just phenomenal offensively. Olofsson with 11 points. Ehlers with 10. Kopitar with 7. Hope with 7. Spence with 5. Velarde with 5. Kuhlman has yet to score. Clark has his first goal. And in goal, unfortunately, he has a .898. So I don't know what it is about Shesterkin in the regular season. He has been pretty shaky at times. And then you take a look at his playoff numbers. And I guess we'll turn on. I think automated goalie rotations are off right now. So I guess I'll go into the settings and change that real quick. And take a look at the team stats. We are by far in first for goals for per game, 3.86 goals for per game. The goals against per game is a bit rough. Like I said, we've been a bit shaky in a few games this season. Power play, this should be good. Yes, indeed. 27.3. Penalty kill, it's okay. It's not great, but At least it's not down here with these guys. And we're 6-2-2 in our last 10. It definitely could have been a lot worse. We're in a good position right now. I wish that we'd be letting in less goals. Because if you take a look at some of our losses here, I mean, we seemingly either win big or we lose big. That's basically how it goes with this team. I mean, we had a 6-2 win against Calgary, of course, but then a 7-6 overtime win against Chicago, 2-1 loss. That's like one of the few tame losses that we've had. And then you have a 5-1 loss to Nashville, 5-3 loss to Florida, 6-2 win to Chicago, 5-4 shootout win against the Washington Capitals. Then you have a 7-1 win over Toronto. But then there's also games like Minnesota here with the 6-3 loss, 5-1 loss against Nashville. So it's a bit worrying, but we're in a good spot for right now. Ooh, so close. Phil Kessel is second in league scoring right now. Are you kidding me, Phil Kessel? So we're now on December 1st. Looking good so far. We're 16-8-2. I believe we're still first in the division. Now, this is the point in last season where we had our collapse, so really crossing my fingers that doesn't happen again. But it shouldn't. Based on the way this team's been playing, I don't think we should have a problem, especially considering our consistent scoring, especially in the top six. Kessel and Turcotte leading the way with 33 points. Pasternak with 24. Byfield with 22. Olofsson with 21. 20 for Ehlers. So, looking good so far. And in goal, you have Shesterkin with a 906. Okay, that's better. It's better. Markkanen's played 2 games so far with a 914. Things seem to be looking up. Let's check the team stats briefly. Goals for per game, we are sitting at a 3.62. And goals against per game, okay, it's better. It's definitely better than before. We're at a 3. Power play, still clicking at a 25.6. Penalty kill, it's around where we checked last. It's at a 1.6. So at least it's being consistent. So I think we could just go another month here and cross our fingers for a good December this time. So now in January, I think it's pretty safe to say that we're a good team now. Considering, I think we only had 4 losses in this month. 4 regulation losses. Yeah, 4 regulation losses, 1 shootout loss against Arizona. The rest were wins. So really no complaints. We're still in first. Alex Turcotte with 47 points in 41 games. So it looks like Phil Kessel may have taken a bit of a drop, but not much. He's still a point per game. 43 points in 41 games. Pasternak with 37 and 38. Yeah, everything looks good. Doughty with 30 points so far. Byfield with 27. Kopitar with 20. So he's definitely been, he's kind of relegated to more of a defensive role recently. Ho with 19 points. Velarde with 14. Spence with 14. Brown with 13. Kuhlman with 13. Furlan with 12. Lawton with 12. Manson with 8. Anderson with 7. Kupari, he hasn't been in recently ever since I put Brown in for him. So I think I might just trade him at the deadline, honestly. Clark with 4, so he's having a bit of a rough start offensively, but his overall has gone up to an 86, so that's good to see. Kuhlman, his overall hasn't gone up to just yet, but I'm sure it'll get there. And as for goaltenders, you have Shesterkin with a 910 and Markkanen with a 909. All looks pretty well here in LA. That being said, let's advance through January. Ooh, not good. We have just lost Igor Shesterkin with post-concussion syndrome basically until the playoffs, April 9th, 2024. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So we're gonna, for right now, have to call up, I guess, Villalta, or you know what, maybe Quick. Yeah, we'll call up Quick. So hopefully Markkanen can get it done until then. He's been solid so far with a 917 save percentage in 13 games. So hopefully he can keep that up basically until the playoffs, because that's when Shesterkin returns. Wow, 10-3 win over Pittsburgh, and then a 5-1 win over Philly. We're clearly a good team. We're the day before the trade deadline. There's definitely no reason to change our core, but what I would like to do is pick up another goaltender just in case we have another injury by chance. I would rather not chance it. So I think we'll flip Kupari, because I haven't used Kupari since, I think, the first 2 months of the season. Yeah, he's only played 20 games. So we'll try trading Kupari to a team that wants to give up their backup goaltender, and we'll also try to get a pick in there as well. Okay, then I think we'll go for Jones. Nice and cheap, and I do want to get a draft pick in there if we can. It doesn't look like they're willing to give up any for this year, but they do want to give up their third for next year, so we'll try for that. And then we'll add in Kupari. I want to try to get a fourth in there as well. So we'll try Kupari and Peric for Jones, Lapointe, a third and a fourth. Will it work? No, just a bit low. All right, we'll take the fourth out, and I'll try to add a fifth for next year. Proposed trade, there it is. So obviously we made a trade with the division rival, but I think that will only help us. And besides, San Jose is not in the chase this year anyway. They look to be out of it as they are below 500. So quick, come out, and Jones back in. And I just realized Martin Jones back in LA, as I believe he was with them before. Yes, he was back in 2014 and 15. So I think that's the only trade I want to make, because otherwise this team has been phenomenal this season. So there's really no reason to mess with anything. Kessel and Turcotte with 65 points each. Pastrnak, point per game, 60 points. Ehlers with 53 points. Olofsson with 47. Byfield with 46. Doughty with 45. And the whole team's just clicking. Ho with 34. Kopitar 26. Velarde 26. Braun 21. And then in goal, you have Shesterkin with a 914. Jones with a 905 so far. Quick with a 916 in 2 games. Markkanen 915. So everything's looking good. And just a brief look at the standings. We are by far in first in the Pacific Division, 15 points ahead of the second place Golden Knights. So it is pretty safe to go ahead and just simulate the rest of the season. So that being said, we will do just that. Big trade alert. We have to St. Louis, 2 first-round picks and Tracy, and to Anaheim, Krug and Bailey. Another big trade to Dallas, Ellis and Hall, and to Nashville, 2 first-round picks. Well, that trade for Jones. Yikes. 869 save percentage in the games that he played with us. I think we'll stick with Markkanen. And but that being said, it is the end of the season, so we're going to get Shesterkin back in there. And it is officially the end of the regular season, and we have clinched our division with 107 points. Didn't get that President's Trophy, unfortunately, but we did finish 3rd in the league, it looks like, so I'm happy. I'm definitely a very happy general manager right now. Now let's take a look at the team stats. Goals for per game, we finished with a 3.48. Goals against per game, we finished with a 2.99. All right, top half of the division. Not bad. Power play stayed very consistent throughout the year, 25.5%. Penalty kill, a bit weak. Definitely not where it was before. It was around an 81.6, I believe, when we last checked. Definitely something to work on. Although that may be attributed to the absolute failure of an acquisition that was Martin Jones. Because with that 869 save percentage and all of that, that's rough. So I'll give the penalty kill the benefit of the doubt there. As for skaters, you have Turcotte with 87 points on the season. Kessel with a 40-goal season as a 36-year-old. 81 overall. This man just doesn't stop. He's incredible. And 83 points overall. Pastrnak with 83 points as well. Ehlers was 65, so he really decided to shine this year. Byfield was 62 points. Doughty was 61. Everyone was just clicking. Olofsson didn't have the year that he did last year, but that's okay. We had plenty of other scoring options this year. Much more than we did last year for sure. Keith Ho with 44 points. That's good for him. He had 34 last year, so an improvement on last year. He took more shots this year. He had more power play points. Pretty good at faceoffs as well, 51.1. And he's gradually starting to improve that takeaway giveaway ratio, and he's still being physical. So that's what I'm really asking for out of Keith Ho. So I really can't complain from him. As long as he keeps seeing growth, that's what matters. And Kopitar, definitely starting to regress, to say the least. Goes from 69 points to 35, but that's obviously because he had much less ice time this year as well. 21.45 to 13.20. So his career definitely in the tail end stages. Velarde with 35 points, minus 13 unfortunately. Verlander with 24, Lawton with 23, Brown with 22, Kuhlman with 22, so nice rookie season for him. Looks like his overall is going up a little bit as well. Unfortunate there with the giveaways to takeaways, but I'm sure he'll get better with that as he matures. He's only 19, so given the benefit of the doubt. Spence with 22, Manson with 21, Clark with 17, so he looks to have picked it up after the slow start that he had in the first month or two. And he was okay with the giveaways as well, but I'm sure he will get better with age. He's only 21 years of age. And in goal, as we see the the disaster that is Martin Jones, definitely not playing him in the playoffs. I think I would rather just go to the AHL and call up quick, honestly. And Shesterkin with a 914 save percentage to end off the season, and Markkanen with a 908. So, besides Jones, all around, just a solid effort this year. And we have made the playoffs for the second year in a row. And I honestly would have been disappointed otherwise, because we, on paper at least, have a very good team. So, Let's see who we have in the playoffs. And it will be the Arizona Coyotes. So let's check out their lineup, and then we'll end things off. So their first line is Ramjik Singh with Keller and Garland. And then the second line is Schmaltz, Nuge, and Mikheyev. Third line is Hayton, Dvorak, and Joseph. Fourth line is Fogle, McEwen, and Furk. On defense, they have Ekman Larson and Soderstrom, Chikrin and Barry, Merrill and Moore. Come on. Lindbaum, the 71 overall Lindbaum. What was his save percentage this year? Okay. I mean, a 908 in 27 games. That's not terrible. They must have traded their main goaltender at the trade deadline or something. Or he might be... Yeah, Grubauer's injured. That's what I thought. Okay. That makes more sense. He had a 916 save percentage in 57 games, so certainly serviceable. Then they have Kraus, Sokolov, and Scandella scratch. So that being said, we'll end this off here. And the next one, we will be facing the Arizona Coyotes as we begin our mission to repeat. See you guys then.